Okay, so the first thing we want to do is fix the eyes on this image right here. Here's your working image. We want to fix the eyes on that first of all. At this point, you should have these 5 images open. Your corrections needed 1, working image, and then images 3A, 2A, and 4A as I've got them lined up over here. Okay, this corrections needed 1 is really just there for your reference. You can either minimize it or close it at this point. It doesn't have to be open right now. I'll just minimize it. I want to fix the eyes here. So what I'm looking for first, when you're doing something like this, you want to look for another image that has very similar angle, head tilt, and so forth. If I look at this one here, compared to these, I see here I've got a little bit of ear. Okay, looking at this one, I've got a lot of ear. Okay, this one would work, but it'd be a lot more work to get things lined up really correctly because of the different angle. So I'm going to actually well, I'm not close over now. I'm comparing here between these two here. This one shows a little more ear yet than this one. So if I'm going to choose between these two, I'll choose this one. This is almost identical to this, just with this one has an eye closed. This one does not. The angle is very similar, so that's going to be a much better choice to work with. So I'm going to close these two as being not choices that I don't want. And then before I go any further, well, I always work on a duplicate image when we're doing retouching. Never work on the original image. So we're going to go to File, Duplicate, and just accept the default with the word copy behind it. It's fine. Say OK. And then close the original image back here. Let's close this image so it's out of the way. Okay. So the process now is I want to get these eyes over here. And what you want to do, if at all possible, is you want to zoom in here. Zoom in fairly close. I'm going to use my lasso tool. Set the feathering to 7 pixels, assuming you're at the 300 dpi, which these images are. I'm going to make a selection that's going to go around the eyes, include the nose. And watch as I do that. The 7-pixel feather will give a nice blending as I paste this selection into the other image. So I'll go around here. It looks like your tool stopped working. Just go back, get to the beginning. It'll complete the selection there. And that's just a bug in Photoshop. Okay, you've got your selection made. Doesn't have to be real precise, just you want to make sure you catch the eyes and so forth, and doing the nose for alignment purposes. Do Control C to copy this. I'm going to go to this one, and let's enlarge this a little bit. Zoom in here, reposition, and I'm going to again zoom in fairly big. Do Control V to paste. Now I've got this image pasted in here. I'm going to actually, this one I don't need anymore. I'm done with this. Let's close this and get it out of my way. And if you look at this now, you have your move tool. Okay, I'm on. It came in as a separate layer, new layer. There's a little difference in tonality. We need to deal with that later too. I zoomed in big for one reason. I have more control of my mouse for some resizing purposes. I need to resize these now to make them the right size. So if I click on my bounding box, and I'm going to start dragging this out. Let's drag this out first of all, so I got room to work. Drag it out diagonally proportionally. So you're resizing it proportionally. Now you got to kind of hold it up here, and I'm not quite big enough here. I'm pretty well lined up. Let's see if I move this a little bit there. I'm not quite big enough there. Let's try this a little bigger like that. That looks like it'd be pretty good. Let's give that a try first of all once. So I'm going to apply the transformation here. Let's just undo the bounding box so it doesn't show. In your layers palette, let's go here. Set your opacity down to around maybe 40%, something like that. That neighborhood. It makes this layer transparent. Now I can move this around, and I can put it on top here, and I can see now by looking at this eye right here, I am really close in the right size. In fact, close enough that I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to use my arrow keys here on the keyboard to reposition this a little more precisely. I can see a little difference in the nose here. See a little shadow here. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Let's go back to my bounding box here once. And let's see if I can make that just a tad bigger. See what happened here? I drew out this here. Okay, let's apply that. Let's change my opacity to 100%. Now if you click your eye here, visibility here, on and off, Okay, it's moving a little bit. Something is... Okay, so what you want to do now is, let's use arrow keys. And I moved it down 2 pixels. That's getting worse. I need to move it up, I think. So let's move it up a couple notches here once. As I'm just moving and there I got it pretty good. It's move it down 1 pixel. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there's getting worse again. So I'm going to move it up 1 pixel here. Let's go down 1 and be done with it there. That looks pretty good. If I change my opacity again to check it, you can see I'm pretty well lined up. That's good enough here for now. For this, let's undo the bounding box. Now the problem you've got is, looks like she's got a mask on now because of different exposure in the pictures. On this layer here, let's go to Enhance, Adjust Lighting, Levels, and let's just see what you're going to work with these 3 sliders right here. And since it's kind of the highlight, or it needs to be a little bit lighter, let's drag this one down here once and see what happens. And right there, whoops, that's too much. Right about there, maybe. There, that's pretty good. You can use your mouse to your wheel to roll it back and roll it around a little bit. That looks pretty good. And now I've got that corrected. If I use my visibility again, there's no difference in tonality. The eye looks good. Okay, so we've got that done. Okay, so now what you want to do is either go to Layer, Merge Down, or the keyboard command is Control E. So I've got that layer active. Do Control E, merge that down. Okay, this is my working image copy. Let's go File, Save this. And let's save it. Level 10 baseline is good. And that's saved. Now you're ready to move on to the next step.